we are going to discuss financial management, and it's going to be a revision on the topics we have done so far. Right. So the first topic was sources of finance. Then we move on to securities valuation. Then we went to firm valuation or business valuation and shareholder value. Then to cost of capital. Then capital structure. Dividends policy. And we came to mergers and acquisition. Okay, so these are the topics we have done so far. And business finance or financial management, all the syllables are classified into all the three main types of um, financial, the role of what financial management or the role of financial manager. It is classified into what these three functions of a financial manager, which is the dividend rule or function and investment decision, and then the financial decision, right? That is how the course has been structured. So when you take each of them, they will discuss one of the functions of what financial manager, right? Each function will discuss each topic. So when you pick each of the topic, it will discuss. It's either it is discussing the financial decision or investment decision or what the dividend or decision. You get it? So the financial decision is talking about how the firm will obtain funds to operate and how they also pay their providers of what fund, right? So under the financial decision, we have for sources of finance, because sources of finance will tell you where the business is getting their money to operate from, and then how would they also provide or pay back the providers of the fund. So that one to go to a cost of what capital. So under the financial decision, we have sources of finance and costs cost of what capital. And then when you come to the investment decision also talks about where the business invests their or fund, the fund that they have obtained, right? Where do they invest in, right? So with that one, the topics that will discuss or tell you where the business invests their money in will tell you is what we did last semester. We did investment appraisal techniques and working capital management, right? So for this semester, we are continuing with the remaining other areas of the investment decision of a financial management or manager. And that one, to know where the firms is what investing their funds in, we also have to what learn about what the firm valuation. So the business valuation or firm valuation, right? And then mergers and acquisition also tell you where the business will invest their money in, right? Then the last one is the dividend policy. So the dividend policy here will tell you whether the firms will reinvest their profits, or they should pay the profits as well dividends to the shareholders. So that is how the course has been structured. So that's how the course has been structured. So today, the sources of finance we will not tackle. That one is reading and you understanding just a theory or question. So we will start with the evaluation of what securities. Evaluation of securities. That will be the topic that we are going to discuss. Right. So under the evaluation of securities, we are going to learn, and the fact the one aspect is that the evaluation of securities is trying to tell us how we value the what the funds. See, when we obtain the fund from whether internal or external parties, we are talking about what debts and what equities. These are the two main or the two broad funds that we obtain. Right. All the sources of finance have been classified into these two words broad. When you pick the equity, it's further group into what we have preference share and what ordinary or share. Right. So we can split it into three, where we will separate the equity and the preference share. So here we are going to find the price of each of the sources of fund that we have obtained. We are going to find the price of each of them. So security valuation is we trying to find the present value of each of the debts, the equity, the preference share, right? But when it comes to cost of capital, we are not going to find the price, but we are going to find each of these source, their their rate, the cost that we are going to pay, and the cost that we are going to pay to the providers of the debt comprises um, several factors, which has been compounded to be the interest formula to find the cost of capital, the interest. If you want to find your debts, we have several ways or methods that we use to find our debts. When it comes to equity, to the same thing, because we have different types of debts. So depending on the type of debts we have, you know how to compute our debts. Equity, we have two types and two methods. You can use the dividend valuation method or the CAPM. And the preference share, that one is a face amount that is paid towards the preference shareholders. That one we use the perpetuity was formula. The debt we have different types of method that we use to compute the cost. But here we are more focused on finding the price. The price. So what then is um so the debt over there also another word to use for the debt is what bond. So in the textbook on the slides we can see what bond. Bond is a debt, or better still you can see a loan. So these are the three words that we can use in place of a debt, whether a bond. So a bond is a debt, a loan is also a debt. And the equity you can also say stock. Some books will say stock, right? Yeah, the same thing. Or shares. They are talking about the same thing. Right. So tonight you are more interested in finding the bond price or loan price or debt price, equity price, and the rest. And we say that a bond or a bond is a loan between an investor and an issuer. The investor is the holder, right? The one who has the money, and the issuer is the one who is going in for the the money from the investor. So the issuer here could be the firm or the business in question with a legal or binding or terms. That's what a bond is. It's a loan between an investor or who and an issuer. Here could be the what the firm in question with legally binding, because it's a contract between them, so there should be a legal terms between that will bind them to what together, paperwork terms, right? And so that is what a bond is. It's always a loan between two people or two parties. One person the investor, another person the issuer. Then there be a binding agreement between them. So we are not much interested in finding the definition of all these things. But what we are interested is to how we find the bond price, the bond price. So to find the bond price, say that we should discount. Um, okay, so before I go into that, I would like to say some terms that we need to also know. Some terms that terminologies that we need to also know. Terms that we need to know under what bond valuation. We have coupon what rates, and we also have coupon. Then we have maturity, maturity, and we have yield to maturity. Right. So these are some key terms that you should know and what they mean, because it will help you to know how to find your bond price and all that.
Okay.
And
Sir, please. This one, the coupon rate and coupon, is it are they different or the same thing that you are trying to say?
they are different. They are different. They are not the same. They are different. So with a bond, the price of the bond, we have two. I mean, two. First, we have initial payments and we have final payment. Whenever there is a bond, someone issue to us, acquire a bond or a loan. Always there are two ways in which the person makes the payments. We have the interest payment that you have to make regularly, and we also have the last payment that's the issuer pays at the when the bond matures. So these are the payment schedules for a bond. The initial payments and the last payment. The initial payment is what we call the initial regular or face amount that is paid periodically is what we call the coupon. It's what we call the coupon. And the last payment that is made at the end of the bond, when the bond matures, at the last date is called the, the final payment. The final payment, or you can see par. So par is the last payment was made. You have to have something called par, and par is the last payment that is paid when the bond matures. This coupon rate is the rates relating to what the coupon. We use the coupon rate to compute the coupon payments. So the coupon rate is the annual interest rate relating to this coupon. So always this coupon is paid annually. It is usually what paid annually. So if in the question they say the coupon is paid, I mean frequently, maybe compounded semi-annually, weekly, or biannually or something, you have to adjust your coupon what payments. This coupon payment to some content you see interest payments. So interest payments can also be in place of what the coupon. You can also see coupon payment, coupon amount is the same thing. So it's basically the interest, regular interest or fixed interest, fixed interest payments periodically, periodically. It is a regular what fixed, regular or fixed interest payments made what periodically, either annually, weekly, monthly, or what have you. So periodically could be a yearly payment or monthly payment or every 6 months. So based on the question, you know what the periodically what means. But generally, we assume that the coupon is paid every what year. So when the question tells you monthly or semi-annually, you have to adjust it to suit the question, right? And this one is the what the annual um annual interest rate. It is also given what in annual terms, annual interest rate. This one is used to what? Used to compute or determine the coupon. It's used to determine the coupon amount. It's used to determine the coupon amount. And we also have maturity. This maturity is the number of years that the bond will last, the duration of the bond. So let me say the duration of the duration of the bond, right? Or better still, you can say when the principal amount of the bond will be will be repaid. So when will the bond matures? So the duration of the bond. And the yield to maturity. So usually say the number of years of the bond, right? And the yield to maturity, this is the discounts, or this is the actual discount rate we use towards discount towards the bond towards present. This is the discount rate, the discount rate. Sometimes you can see market yield. In some content you see market yield, yield. It is also the same as what the yield to maturity. So yield to maturity and maturity, they are also not the same. So you should be able to distinguish them, right? So that's the discount rates, or the required rate we use towards discount the bond price towards to present. We have something called par or face value. This is future the future value of the what? The bond. Future value of the what? Of the bond. So in all, so when we add the regular interest payments and there was the last what? The last value. This is the what? The par or the face value is the what? The last payment that is what is made. This is the last payment made on the what? The bond. That's the what? The face value or the bond. So we discount this coupon par value, the future value of the what? The bond. And this one is made at the end, is made at the what? Is made at the what? Made at the end, at the made at the end of the bond was when the bond was matures at the end of the year, or at the maturity was date. So it is made at the end of the maturity was date. So if the bond rate are 6 years, this par will be made on the what? On the sixth what? The sixth year. That's when you make that par. You pay that par. But the coupon will be made from year 1 to what? Year 5. Then on the sixth year you make payment for the par or the face value. So when you want to find the price of the bond today, you discount the coupon payments plus the what? The par payments to what? To year 0 to get the what? The price of the bond. Are you okay? So now
But
let's
repeat what you said about discount what?
so if they ask you to find the what? The price of the bond, right? You see this one, this payment, coupon and par, right? This coupon, if let's assume that we have a bond that has maturity date is what? Is 6 years. Maturity date is what? 6 years. That is the number of years for the what? The bond is what? Is 6 years. Right. Now this 6 years, the payment we are seeing that for a bond, payment we have what? Regular interest payment that you make regularly or periodically. And that interest payment, the coupon, you will start making it from year 1 to what? Year 5, right? You start making coupon payments, which is the interest what? Payment. You start making it, you start paying for that from year 1, from year 1 to what? Year 6, year 5. From year 1 to year 5. Then when you get to what? The 6th year, you pay the last payment. The last payment is the what? The coupon. Since that payment is the last payment, we say it is for par, right? Last payment, which is the what? The par. We make at the what? At the what? The sixth year. in the coupon you will start making it right from year one to year fifth year, right? Now if you want to find the price of the bond today, that means that you have to discount what? The coupon payments from year one to year five. From year one, from year one to year five, you have to discount all of that payment to pure zero. Then the last payment, you also discount it to pure zero, zero. Then you add everything together to get your what? Your bond price. Hello. So the bond
Yes.
price is the what? The present value of the what? The coupon plus the what? Plus the what? Plus the present value of the what? The last payment. Plus the present value of the par. Y or final payment. So I can break this down to say that the coupon, you said that it's what? It's a face amount. So if something is face, what word can we use to what? Represent it? What comes in mind? Annuities, right? Hello.
Yes.
Present
Yes.
value of what? Annuity. So the coupon is what? Is in the form of what? Annuity. Do you get it? So if you want to find your what? Your coupon, that coupon that you are making is in the form of what? Annuity. So we are going to apply the what? The the annuity formula, the present value annuity formula to find the what? The coupon payment, to discount the coupon payment to our present. Then we also have what? Present value of what? And this one, the par is a final payment. It's a single what amount. So that one is what? It's a single what amount or a lump sum. So this one is a single what amount that is made at the end of the what? The maturity what? Day. So basically, breaking it down, you need to know your annuity formula, how to compute your, how to discount. So you need to know the present value annuity, and this annuity formula, you are going to use the ordinary annuity formula, the ordinary annuity formula. So we have this equation. So let me pick, oh, that will represent the, So that is the formula to find the what the that this is the formula to find the bond price. So this P is for P0, P naught, P0, right? So this is the formula to find the what the bond price. That's the formula that you use to find the bond price. So after you have find your bond price, the next thing you should also know, or the next thing they can also ask you to what to do is um whether the bond rating. So you also have what bond rating. You ask you to rate the bond what rating. They will ask you to what rate the bond, whether what the bond is trading at par, premium or discount, right? So basically we have three ratings for every bond. We have premium, we have premium rating, discount rating, and what or par rating. Bond can be traded at what par, can be traded at what discount, can also be traded at what um premium. But how would you know that this bond that you have computed, the present value of the bond that you have computed, is trading at par or is trading as what premium or discount? You have to there's always a checklist to determine that, right? You have to check to know the to know the bond rating.
Hello. Hey.
So, like I was saying, after you have computed the bond price, you have discounted all the cash flows in what the coupon and the par or um the face value. You can be asked to us with the the bond that you have computed with it. Now, how do we find? So before I go to the bond rating, how do we find the C? The C, if you want to find the C, it is the coupon what? Coupon rate times your face value. To find your coupon rate, this is the formula to find your C. Sometimes the question will not give you your C, right? So you have to what, find it. To find it, your coupon rate. That's why I said that the coupon rate is different from what the coupon itself. The coupon is the regular or the face interest that you make periodically, and the face value is the value at the end of the maturity, or the amount that you will pay at the end of the last year, or the end of the maturity date. So to find that coupon payment, you have to what, multiply the coupon rate time what to get your um coupon what payment or the interest. And the I is the yield to maturity. The I over there is the yield to maturity. The N is the what? The maturity date, and that is what the years, the duration of the bond. And the face value here is the par, right? Please, can I go on? Hello.
Yes.
Okay. So after doing this, after finding your present value of the bond, you'll be asked to rate the bond that you have computed, whether that bond is trading at par, premium, or discount. And how do you know that this bond that you have computed is trading at par? So to do the bond rating, to know the bond rating, check the present value of the bond, the present value of the bond price, and the par, and the par or the face value. You have to compare these values. You have to check the bond price, the present value of the bond price, in the par or the face value of the bond. That will give you a signal to know whether the bond is trading at what par. Now this is how the rating is determined. So if there was the face value, So one, if the face value is greater is greater than the what, the bond price, right? It is equal to what, discounts. And two, if the face value is now is greater than the what, the bond price, is less than what, if the bond price, if the face value is less and the bond price is what, is now greater, that means that it is trading at what, premium. It has increased. The value of the bond has increased, so premium. Discount is when the value of the bond is what, has reduced. Then the third one is when the bond price and the coupon, the bond price and the face value is what, is equal. Equal to what, the face value. It's equal to what, the face value. Then this one means that the bond is trading at par. At par. It's trading at par. Now let's dig into each of the scenarios. How will you know that your your face value is greater than what, the bond? How will you know? Right? How will you know? How will you know? So for objective what purposes, how will you know that your face value is greater than what, your bond price? And to know that what, the bond is trading at what, discounts. There's this um relationship that you need to what, know about the what, the coupon rate and the yield to maturity. So you use the what, in case if there is, so for objective purpose you will not be given these things, but for calculation purpose, you know your this thing, your bond price and the what, the face value, and also the coupon rates and the what, the yield to maturity, right? The yield to maturity or the market yield is used to what, determine the what, is used to what, discount the the present value, the future, the par, right? And the bond price is also, it's a general price for that. So there is this relationship that exists between the bond price and the yield to maturity and the coupon rate, right? So for the first one, for the first one, for the first one, for the future value or the face value to be greater than the bond price, you see that the yield to maturity, the yield to maturity must be greater, must be greater must be greater than the coupon what rate. So if this happens, say that there is what a discount. If the yield to maturity is greater than the coupon rate, then the bond is trading at par. At discount, right? You see, this coupon rate, this coupon rate is the rate that we is used to find the interest, right? Is the rate used to what? To find the interest. So if that interest that you are going to pay regularly, monthly, yearly is less, then that means that your interest, the interest that you are going to pay will be what? Lesser. So the lesser your coupon rate, the lesser the what? The interest that you are going to what? Pay every year, every monthly, every period, right? So if the interest that you are paying is what? Is less every year, then the sum of all the interest that you are going to pay will be less. Now your yield to maturity, this rate is also used to what? Is also used in discounting your what? Your face value to present. If it is greater, what will be the implication on this? Now you see that this yield to maturity is the I in this formula, right? So if that rate is greater, then if you find the present value of the last payment, it will be lesser, because if the interest rate is huge, is greater, then the implication on this whole function is that the value that you are going to get, it will be what? It will be less. So less. When you add everything, it will make your your bond price very what? Very low. To make your what? Bond price very what? Low. And that will make your face value to be what? Greater than your bond price. And if that happens, then you say that your bond is trading at what? A discount. Is trading at what? At a discount. Please, do you do you get it?
Please, can you take it again?
Okay. So um I'm coming. Let me use example. Now let's say our we are finding the coupon was payment, right? Let's say we have what? 12% coupon rate. and then our face value. The face value, it is always what? 1,000. The face value for every bond is always what? 1,000. The face value or the par is always what? Is always given in what? 1,000, right? That would be the what? The face value. The face value is always what? In 1,000, right? So the rates, when they give you the rates, you just multiply by what? 1,000. So what will be the value for the coupon payment? If you multiply this, what will you get? 120 or hello? I you are going to get 120.
Yeah, 12%.
Yeah.
Yeah, 120.
Yeah. So now let's go and let's say we have yield to maturity. Yield to maturity to be, the point is that yield to maturity is greater than the coupon rate. So yield to maturity is what? 18%. Right. Yeah. So now let's find our this thing. Let's use the formula to find the last payments. And the years is what? You have the years. Let's make the years n to be what?
Huh?
N 6 years or 5 years.
Yeah, when I'm used to buy me feeling.
So let's find the bond price. Let's find the bond price. So find the price. Face value is 1,000.
Mm. Where?
Um, Madam Ruth, please can you mute your mic?
What are we getting? This one is 120. The C is 120. The interest is the yield to maturity 18%. 0 point C. Here to do it 0.18. The N said that is 5 years. Then the face value is what? Is 1,000. the face value or the par is always 1,000. Then this one, what? 5. So what are we getting?
Um, please, that bracket and everything. No, can you compute everything on the calculator, or you have to work it one by
Yeah,
one?
so punch the first one, the annuity formula. Punch it separately. Get the value, write it somewhere. Then you punch this one to the last payment, the final payment to separately. If you punch everything together, you get a wrong value. You get low. Who is down?
Please, and when I did the 1 over 1 plus 0.8, they say error.
It's 120 divided by 0.8, 18%. Then you open a bracket 1 minus into bracket another, then you bring your fraction. When you bring a fraction on your calculator, punch the fraction what? Um, the fraction this thing key. Then you write this thing in the fraction key. Then you close the brackets. You punch your equal to sign. Obi anwie.
I had 812.37.
For the first one,
No, the first one I had
300
375.261.
375,
0.261
261 plus
plus 437
437,
point 109.
470
No, 437.
points
Not 73, 37.
37 points.
Point 109.
So in all you get
812.37.
so I hope you can see the implication on the bond price. Compare the bond price and the face value. The 1,000. Which one is less?
The bond price is less.
And compare the coupon rate and the yield to maturity. Which one is also less?
Coupon rate is less.
So yeah, so this should tell you the relationship between the bond price and the yield to maturity and the bond price and the coupon rate. So that is the relationship between, and that is what you have to know to determine the type of what the rate of every what bond. So anytime so after you have computed your bond, so that way you can check the face value in the bond to determine whether the bond is trading at par, discount, or what premium. If current price the current price today of the bond is is lesser than what the face value, then the bond is what is trading as what discount, because in future we expect the price to be what to be this 1,000, but as at now the price of the bond is what, when we discounted it, we say that the price is what is now 802.37 pesos. Then that means there has been a reduction in the bond price, so it will be trading at what, at a discount, right? Another way is you should also check the yield to maturity, this one, and the coupon rates. Now what I was saying is that if this coupon rate, you see this coupon rate is what is less, you are going to pay lesser interest. That will sum up you paying a lesser total so that means the total interest that you are going to pay every year for from year one to year five, from year one to year four, before you make your final payment in year fifth, it will be lesser. You see this one, the total interest rate, see that it is less, very less. The result is that The result is that your your coupon interest was less. That is why your interest is what is also less. Now, when you go towards the yield to maturity, this interest rate, the I was what huge. It was greater than what the coupon rate. So if you discount using the what use that 18% to discount the face value to present, it will end up you pay it will discount the face value, but since the yield to maturity is what is greater, it will increase the what the it will like so the higher the yield to maturity, the more the more the present value of what the face value, right? But the lesser the yield to maturity, the yield to maturity, the lesser the what am I saying? So the lesser the yield to maturity, the higher the present value of the what the par. So if here the interest rate, the yield to maturity was less, it was lesser than what the 18, you are going to have um a huge number for the present value of this par. But if the yield to maturity is on the other hand is what is now huge, you have what a lesser what value. If we should what reduce this to make, let's say 17, you see that this value it will increase. Try that and let me see. It will increase. So if you do it was 17, it will increase to what 456. So that one to also should also inform you that the higher the yield to maturity, the lesser the present value of the what the face value, and the lesser the higher the present value of the what the power value. Please, are you okay? Hello,
Hi.
are you good? So in summation, this is the relationship between all the three: the coupon rate, yield to maturity, and the bond price. So there is what inverse relationship between bond price, inverse relationship between bond price and yield to maturity. And then there is what a direct relationship between face value of par and what yield to maturity. We also have direct relationship between bond price and coupon rate. So from what we have done so far, checking the bond price, the 812 and the yield to maturity, what can you deduce from that? See that the yield to maturity, it was what? It was greater than the coupon rates. That led us to what? Have a lesser bond price. So when the yield to maturity is what? Is high, the bond price will reduce. When it is what? Is less, the bond price will also what? Increase. So that's it's a relationship, vice versa. When yield to maturity is what? So when you compare, how do you know that yield to maturity is high or low? You compare the yield to maturity rate and the coupon rate to know whether the yield to maturity is what? Is lesser or is low. So comparing the coupon rate and the yield to maturity is what? Is high. So if it is high, then bond price will what? Will fall. Then if it is what? Is low, then bond price will what? On the other hand will what? Increase. Then the second relationship is that there is what? A direct relationship between the face value or par and what? Yield to maturity. Now, um, this means that the higher the face value, the higher the what? The yield to maturity. Comparing the face value and the bond price, face value is what? Is higher, right? So if face value is higher, then of course the yield to maturity will also be what higher. Do you see? Then the last one is that there's also a direct relationship between the bond price and coupon rate. When bond price, so compare bond price and the coupon rate, they are both what? Less. They are both what? Less. You get? So this and that is another what? Option to what? To determine whether what? Coupon what? So the bond price and what? Coupon has what? Direct relationship. And bond price and yield to maturity are inversely what? Related. Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, so I hope now we are good.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we are good, then this one I'll leave it. We can all be deduce the approach. So here, if face value is what? Is lesser and the bond price is what? This one is what? So who can give me the other option for between yield to maturity and the coupon? How how are we going to what? Deduce the relationship for us to get a premium? If using this approach, using this relationship, what what relationship are we going to what? Form for the bond price to be trading as what? A premium between yield to maturity and coupon. for us to get a premium. Mm-hmm. Will it be less or greater?
Less.
Which one is less?
If yield to maturity is lesser than
Is
coupon, it will be a premium.
if yield to maturity is what?
It's lesser than coupon, the bond price will be a premium. The rating will be a premium.
So this you are saying this.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. So a coupon rate. This one is what coupon rate. Nice, 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 nice. So that's great. That's great. The third one is bond price is equal to what? Face value. That means the bond is trading at what? At par. So this one there, right? It is that simple. So this one means that the face value is always equal to what? The the bond price, right? The bond price, the selling price of the bond is equal to what? The face value. And that's all that you need to do. So this year two, that means that the yield to maturity and the coupon rate will be what? Will be equal. Will be what? Equal. Will be what? Equal. That will result in that. So this one is what? The one side of the what? The how to find your bond price for what bond. Now if you go to equity two, we have preference share and what? Ordinary shares. So for equity, if you want to find the what? The bond price, we use the what? The modus. Dividend what? Modus. So I'll start with the what? The preference shares. Preference share. With the preference share. This one is, we assume that preference share are, I mean they don't grow. The same dividends will be paid forever, right? So here the shares does not what? They do not grow. They are in form of what? Perpetuity. They are in a form of perpetuity. So here there is no last payment or initial amount. So if you want to find the price of a preference share today, right? If you want to find that, you use the perpetuity formula, the cash flow over the what? The cash flow over the what? The rate, the discount rate. So here, if you want to find the present value of a preference share or stock, we say that the PO is equal to your dividends over the what? The rate. the dividend over the what the rates, and that will be right. So yeah, we use the zero growth model for equities. All the equities we use what for equities we have dividend valuation models, and that is what we use to find the preference share and the ordinary share. For the preference share, it take care of the goods, the zero goods. I mean, yeah, dividend. This dividend, yeah, for preference share, their dividend do not they do not grow. They remain the same throughout the entire year. So they are they are the same every year. That dividend, the same dividend will be paid. Preference share, we pay them dividends, the same dividend every year. They pay them the same dividend. We don't increase their dividends that they receive every year. If today they pay them $200, next year they will pay them the same dividends. Right. They are the people that they will pay them pay them first before ordinary um stock shareholders. Right. So their dividends are constant, and we pay them in the form of perpetuity. So this is the formula to find the stock price for a preference share. Right. So the assumption is the the same the same dividends will be paid forever, or dividends remains the same for that's for perpetuity. So that's why we use this formula to find the stock price. So when you go to cost of capital, here you make the R the subject, so that you find the cost of capital for a preference share. So this lecture and cost of capital are vice versa. All the formulas that we are using here, when you go to cost of capital, you will be making the R from this formulas, the subject, to find our cost of capital for each of the sources. So that's the beauty of the and they are related. All the that we are treating, they are related, and that's why you should take note of the formulas and how they are interconnected to each other. And so we go to the ordinary share. For the ordinary share, we use two approaches. Ordinary shares, we use the goods dividend what formula to what constant growth model, constant what growth model to find the ordinary what constant. So here we assume that dividends will grow or change every year, right? We assume that dividend grows at a constant what rate. Assume that dividend grow at a constant rate. Right, the constant what rate. So to find this price of find the price of an ordinary share today, that one will also give us this formula. Since you are seeing that dividend grew at a constant what rate, then this D1 we have to grow it by a certain what rate. Then we will subtract the growth, and so this dividend that is growing at a constant what at a constant growth rate. It is what that is less than the required what return. The gene that is growing the dividend, the growth rate, constant growth rate. So the constant growth rate, the gene over here is always what is less than what the required return, the R. So in that case, we need to also subtract that from the what the required rate. Then D1, how do we find D1? To find your future dividends, it is your current dividends, D naught brackets 1 plus your growth rate plus your growth rate, your gain. So that will be our what formula to find the ordinary share. So this is how we find the price of an ordinary share that grows at a constant what rate. If you have an ordinary share that grows differently or the growth rate varies, maybe they give you year 1 to 3 a faster or growth rate, and maybe after the year 3 it also grows at a different what rate. We also have a different method that we also use. That is what we call the what the variable growth rate. So in that case, because the gene is not growing at the same rate forever or into the future, but it grows for a certain period of time. Then after that period, it grows at another what growth rate. We use the variable what growth rate, right? That one is the variable what growth rate. So with this one, I think you end out 1 year because that formula is very complicated and all that. So you end here. You will another time when you continue, you pick a question, you talk about that one. So at this point, do you have any question on what you have done so far? Hello.
No question.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. So if we don't have any question, then I think we can end here. Tomorrow we will continue.
That's it, bro. That's
Yes.
it, bro. Did you record the
Hello.
class? Did you record
Yeah,
the
yeah,
class?
yeah, I
Oh,
got it.
just send it to me, right? Yeah, then. Okay, thank you.
Okay.